I had this knife out from Gamma brand a while ago. It's Hudson Bay Camp. And I made a remark in a video that I hadn't used it recently, and so my technique was a bit off. Few people call shenanigans, which is understandable. One of my friends asked me if I could drop up some wood to her the weekend. She's planning to have a little outdoor sort of camp out. She got herself a little pot-bellied stove. And I got a bunch of old scrap wood that I need to cut up. And I just want to do some more work and talk a little bit about the knife. Now what I've found in using this is that I instinctively tend to end up going back on the handle like this. That's not really unusual, because that sort of makes this the effective blade length, and normally my preferred blade length is 12 to 14 inches, so that's the almost instinctive position that I end up going for. Now that's sort of what I wanted to talk about before. You can see how badly my cuts were staggering. If you get your cuts exactly where you want them to go, so they follow over each other, you'll notice a rather dramatic improvement in cutting ability. So you can see there, you can't even tell when the second cut went in. They were right on top of one another. And that's what you need to minimize, chops. So again, absolutely clean. That's what you're aiming for. There's a knot right in the middle of that that's holding it together. So you're not always perfect. You can see one of those hits went off, but the others were where I wanted them to be. So again, that's what you're aiming for. One complete smooth cut. And again, the reason why I wasn't getting it last time is that I had been using a different cutting tool recently, which was a traditional bill hook, which swings very differently. So this knife, when I'm using it, I'm using a lot of rotation. My grip is very loose, so the blade is doing a lot of rotation. And the thing to keep in mind is you have to sort of know where the edge is in order to get your accuracy. And that only comes with use and getting familiar with the tool. And if you switch and use a tool which puts the edge in a different position, your body becomes accustomed to that, and it takes a bit of time to snap back into place. And that's one of the main reasons why, get out of here, when you start using, especially a new chopping tool for the first time, You want to give it a good workout before you really start judging it, because different tools are going to swing a bit differently. This axe is balanced about right here, and that's rather neutral for an axe. Most axes would be balanced up here and they'd use more rotation, but this one from cKc, because it has a metal shaft, has a more neutral balance. So the cutting works best when it's more linear, not as much rotation, and the handle is also not designed for heavy rotation. And you have to keep these things in mind, because if you try to use this like you would use a Gramfurth Brox axe, which is heavy rotation, it simply won't feel right, it'll feel ineffective, and you'll be putting a lot of energy where it's not getting a lot of use. Similar, if you try to use a Gramfurth Brox axe like this and do more linear cuts, you'll feel the exact same thing. It just won't feel effective. So again, that's what you're aiming for. One smooth, continuous cut. Get out. Okay. And again, it'll just come with practice. We use sighting exactly where you want the blade to go and continuously making an effort to put it there each time.